Hi, everybody. It is Eamon here. Welcome to another Pathmonk Presents podcast. Today, we have all the ways from Indianapolis in the US. We have Lauren from Min and Mice. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
I'm doing well, Eamon. How are you doing?
Fantastic, fantastic. Great to have you on the podcast with us today. And those who are not familiar, maybe with Min and Mice, can you give us a quick download, a quick overview as to what it is you do and how you help people and businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are an Icelandic company, actually, headquartered in Iceland, I should say, although we're a global company, and many of our customers are located in the US. We're a scale-up, but we've been around for about 3 decades now. And basically, we help people with the problem of how to manage common networking services like DNS, DHCP, and IP for modern enterprise tech architectures. Now, I know that some of you may not be familiar or up on your latest networking protocols, but basically, we make it simple and easy for engineers to manage IP addresses and domain names across multiple sites, across multiple clouds, from anywhere from like a dozen to thousands of devices. And we do it without locking customers into like proprietary standards and protocols.
Fantastic. And with that, like you were saying, you're working across loads of different industries. What kind of industries do you find is your main backbone, or what kind of industries are you expanding into?
Yeah, so we're a B2B technology vendor, and so basically we work with literally anyone that has an IT department. So pretty much all industries. Our customers and prospects are kind of constantly dealing with this idea of technical debt. Basically, you're forced into making a decision on what vendor, what solution you want to use, and then 2 years later it's obsolete, right? And so that's the idea of technical debt, and our hope is that we kind of get rid of that for folks, at least in our little domain, especially while IT is expected to kind of not only just be a service provider anymore, but really like directly influence new revenue streams and business drivers. So, as consumers, we see this all the time, right? If you're in the supermarket and you pass by, the I don't want to say Lucky Charms now that I know you're Irish, but you see a certain cereal in the cereal aisle, and all of a sudden, by no coincidence, you're offered a coupon, let's say. This is because the IT department has made that possible in things like self-service checkout, especially the things we saw in the pandemic. IT is directly responsible for these revenue streams, and they're doing it with the same amount of resources, the same amount of people that they've always had. So we're trying to make it, more simple and easy for them to do those things.
Exactly. And I have never had Lucky Charms. Some of my cousins in the US have. So yeah, next time I'm over, maybe I'll put it on my to-do list. But looking at what people are doing, let's say when you're working with these different niches, I mean, what different acquisition channels are working at the moment? I believe that before we jumped on here, we were talking a little bit about product-led growth. I mean, how's that working out for you at the moment?
Yeah, so we actually moved to a more product-led growth strategy, go-to-market strategy last year, about midway through last year. And so, our product is something that you install on premises. So it's not a SaaS product that you can just like go to and we take care of it on the back end. In fact, our customers want to be the ones taking care of it because there's some really, private information in there. And so what we've done is we've kind of taken PLG, or product-led growth, and made it work for this kind of solution. So we're doing more of a hybrid approach between sales-led and product-led. But let me just kind of dive into why product-led, I think, is the right move for us and probably for a lot of folks out there. For one, we're working in a very mature market. Like I said, we've been around for 3 decades. Our competitors have been around for 3 decades. And if, anyone's read Blue Ocean Strategy or done any sort of, econ work, in a mature market, we're no longer okay to just offer capabilities, right? And hope that no matter how hard it is to use, people like it because we're giving them the capabilities they need. At this point, it's all about user experience. It's all about, convenience. It's all about making it simple. And our product lends itself very well to that. And that is part of product-led growth. We also know that people want to try, especially our ideal customers, our audience. They are network engineers and they like to get their hands dirty. So they want to try it before they buy it. We've seen, over and over, Forrester, a leading analyst, says, 3 out of 4 B2B enterprise, buyers want to try something before they buy it. And PLG is literally that, give them what they need, give them not only the solution to try out, maybe via free trial or some sort of freemium, also give them all the documentation that they need, also give them, the videos and all the marketing materials. The marketing fluff has to go away, and it has to be useful and relevant to the daily user. And so we've really started going in that direction. And then, of course, you can imagine some of the benefits, right? Shorter sales cycles, more qualified leads, because they already know if they like it. But you have to have a good product too in order to do this successfully. So it's been not only really exciting, and we've already seen the benefits just in the past 2 quarters, but it's aligned internally all of our teams. And we really had to work on, like most tech companies, there wasn't a lot of trust for marketing, and because marketing was kind of an afterthought, right? We're 30 years old, but they really just started looking at putting a lot of work into marketing in the last 5 years. And so marketing had to build some trust with the product teams, with the developers. And I think the product-led growth has really helped us do that, because now, we're all working together with common goals between product teams and marketing teams, or product teams and sales teams. It's been really like literal KPIs, that we can work on together. And it's just been a really great experience for our internal communications as well.
Fantastic. And when you're working on this strategy, and you're, as you're saying that, with the kind of B2B clients you're working with, that 4 out of 5 like to get their hands dirty and really engage. I mean, how important is your website at taking these visitors, or and turning them into future clients?
Yeah, the website's huge. Website and YouTube, or we've put the videos on our website as well, but the website has to, and we've made just so many changes to our website since we've gone PLG, like I said, to give people the information that they want. One of my huge pet peeves for tech companies, and you will find this on probably 99% of tech companies' websites, right, including ours, I think until very recently, that the future of networking, or we are the future is here, that is everywhere. It tells people nothing. It doesn't tell people what you do. It doesn't tell people how you do it. It doesn't tell people how, most importantly, you're helping them. It's just the future is here, and you can be a part of it too. And so what, with PLG, we strive to do is get rid of all of that crap, get rid of all of the things that really are not relevant or helpful to our daily user. And so I started my career off as an engineer. I really believe in this methodology because it is so important to me. And I have an empathy for these daily users that are coming in, and they don't care that you're the future. They care about whether you can help them or not.
Yeah, exactly. And help them now. Not in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Help me
The future's
yesterday.
not here for everyone. Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, kind of switching gears a little bit, Lauren, and talking about more of you as a a leader in marketing. I mean, what keeps you busy, like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. So, working for a small company, I'm going to be really cliche here and just say we wear a lot of hats. So I am the person who actually makes the content as well. And I should say, with a team of people, we make the content. I don't polish it or make it look nice or anything like that. Like I said, I was an engineer, and that is not in my wheelhouse. But creating the videos, the demonstrations, the webinars, the white papers, I have a hand, if not, the person that is responsible for the content portion of those. So I spend a lot of my time doing that. And then, when it comes to being the growth role that I fulfill as well, I actually spend a lot of time with our sales leaders, with our marketing leaders, with our CEO, coming up with these cross-functional goals, and then reporting on, are we achieving those goals? If we're not achieving them, what are the blockers? And this is the first time we've seen, because obviously we have salespeople across the world, alignment not only between our sales teams, but between sales and marketing, between sales, marketing, and product, as well as customer success and professional support services. So that is part of I'm not the leader. I am kind of supporting people in making sure that we are aligned. And like I said, I don't think growth can happen without this kind of cross-functional alignment.
Okay, no, that's some good advice. And let me kind of ask you this question, okay? Imagine if you could go back to your first day, your first week, your first month and minimize again. What advice would you give yourself, or what would you do differently?
Um, I would have come up with PLG sooner, honestly. That would have been it. I've been at MetaVice for almost 2 years now, and it took me a year of kind of researching and figuring some things out, and of course figuring out how the company worked. You can imagine I went from Cisco and Juniper, which are very large, maybe the largest networking companies, at least in the US, 10,000, 100,000 people, to a company of 50 people. So that was a little bit of a culture shock for me, and figuring out how to kind of maneuver around that, and then who did which roles, and then taking multiple roles as well. So that the PLG, I think I would start earlier if I had all of that knowledge already. The other thing in general is I just think listening to people is the most important thing that you can do. I know, earlier in my career, I was hired as a product marketer at Juniper. I didn't know what product marketing was, but I was hired as one. And kind of coming in from a technical marketing or engineer role, I just didn't even know what I was doing, and I didn't know what everyone else was doing. And I found that it took me years to understand, oh, that's what Pam from marketing ops was looking for from me 6 years ago. That makes sense now, right? And so kind of doing things to build that empathy, not only to have better teamwork, but to also just understand how to do your own work better and enable others is so important. And so that's, as someone who's kind of maybe guiding and supporting more now, I always try to take onboarders, new people, and really it's okay to ask the question, what is it that I do here? And what is it that you all do here?
Exactly. Well, there's never, such thing as a crazy or a bad question. I definitely believe that. And look, it was an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast today with Lauren. We learned a lot, and I want to give you the last word. I mean, if someone forgets about everything that we just discussed, I mean, what's the one thing that you'd want them to remember about Minimize?
That I think transparency is key. If you don't know what a company does, if you don't know how their product works, if you don't know how to migrate away from their product, especially in the technology industry, then you should question whether to use that solution. And Men and Mice will let you use it all. From the beginning, as you're still looking into other solutions.
Fantastic. Well, definitely, if you want to find out a little bit more, just check out Minimize. Thank you so much, Lauren, for taking the time to jump on our podcast today. And that's it for today's episode. Look forward to seeing everybody in the next one. Till then, all the best and bye-bye.